This is my dog. This is my new office. That is my Kilimanjaro sign that is falling down. This is me. This is a laundry basket full of old running shoes. And today I am going to share with you all of the running shoes that I have used in the past 18 months. I'm going to tell you what they were, what I like about them, what I don't like about them. So let's dive right in because today we're talking about running shoes. Oh God. Hey puppy. I walk a lot. I try to walk 15,000 steps a day. Some days I walk 25,000 steps. Some days I only walk 7,000 steps. But what I'm trying to say is that I walk a ton, and that means I wear out a ton of running shoes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pairs since November of 2023 to be exact. So let's start with these guys. On Clouds. These are the very first pair of On Cloud running shoes that I purchased. I got them in November of 2023. That's when I first started walking 15,000 steps a day. I was doing a 30-day, 15,000 step a day challenge. I was gonna make it into a YouTube video, but I don't know, it never did. Anyway, I had worn out my previous pair of running shoes, and so I went to the local shoe store. I tried these on, and instantly I was like, oh, my feet are so happy. So I wore them walking and training all winter long, and then I started to wear them out, especially, you can see right here in the heels. I have really bony heels, and I always wear this part of my running shoes out. So this was like down to no cushion at all. So I wore these guys out probably by April. I think in April, that's when I got my second pair. I got the exact same pair of shoes, just a different color, because I liked those ones so much. And as you can see, once again, tons of wear and tear in the heels. I added some Velcro there because I wanted to wear my dirty girl gaiters with them. And these are the shoes that I wore on Mount Kilimanjaro. The only days that I wore my boots during that climb was the very first day through the rainforest because it's a little slippery. And our guide said, wear your boots. So I'm gonna do what the guide says. So I wore my boots. And then I wore boots on summit night. But the rest of the time I wore these shoes and they were great. My feet felt great most of the climb. But when I got back from Kilimanjaro, I noticed that I was starting to get ingrown toenails frequently. Ingrown toenails are so disgusting and so weird and so gross, but that's what I kept getting with these shoes. When I was guiding our trip to Alaska, my feet hurt so bad. And so I thought I need to get a different pair of shoes, and I probably should size up and maybe give myself a little bit more room in the toe box. So then I went down to the store and I bought these guys, and these became my favorite pair of shoes. They're more of a trail runner than just a running shoe. As you can see though, those heels just wear out continuously, and also I pretty much wore the traction and the tread off of these shoes. I got these like in September, I think, and I wore them on the Salcantay Trail in Peru. These are super comfortable shoes, and I would buy them again. I sized up. I noticed that I didn't have problems with my ingrown toenail again, so that was great. I love these shoes. But by February, they were starting to wear out. So then I hopped online, and this was the very first time I'd actually purchased a pair of running shoes online. And I ordered another pair of On Cloud because I'd been having so much success with the other, 3 pair that I'd had. Okay, so I ordered these shoes. I think that they're these shoes, but they're not these. They're these shoes, just a different version. And first thing I noticed is that they're super ugly. Like, they're white. I hike on dirt trails almost every day. So I was not stoked about the color. I think I might have accidentally pushed the wrong color when I ordered the shoes. So anyway, I get them. They're not the model that I thought I had ordered. They're definitely not the color that I thought I ordered. I've been wearing them for a couple of months here, and you can see like the heel is already like, how are my heels so bony that I'm just destroying shoes all the time? So I'm wearing them. They're comfortable, but once again, I just noticed that my foot is starting to hurt and I'm starting to get another ingrown toenail. So there's something about this model of On Cloud shoe that gives me ingrown toenails. Even though I sized up, right? I sized up. These are both 7.5s. Then I moved up to an 8. This is an 8. I should not be getting ingrown toenails and having pinched toes. So I thought I was done with on cloud running shoes. But last weekend, I was like, I need some new shoes because I can't keep wearing these ones that are giving me an ingrown toenail. I went to my local shoe store and they don't have a whole lot of variety in my size. I try on 2 pairs of shoes. I try on these pair of Ultras right there. You can see them, they're on my feet along with these pretty socks. So I try on these Ultras and instantly I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Like my foot just felt so comfortable. But here's the thing, I don't know how I feel about wide toe boxes. I probably need a wide toe boxes because of this ingrown toenail problem that I have. But I had a pair of wide toe box shoes like 5 years ago when I owned a shop, and I had a pair of Topo running shoes and they had a wide toe box, but I felt like the rest of the shoe didn't fit my foot. At the time I was all about the La Sportiva Bushido 2 trail runners. That was my shoe of choice. But I put on the Ultras and I was like, oh, they don't feel like super cushy and boingy like on cloud running shoes, right? They feel really just like sleek and minimal. But I was like, I like them. Like my toes feel good in them and they don't feel too loose and too roomy. So I put them aside and I was like, I'm gonna think about those for just a second. And then I know better, but I went back to On Clouds because first I thought these were kind of cute with the little pop of orange and pink there. So I tried these On Clouds on and I thought, they're a different model than these guys, so they're probably gonna be better. I wanted these guys, but they didn't have these guys. So I tried these on and instantly my foot just was like so happy because they're so like cushy and supportive. And I couldn't decide between the Ultras and this new pair of On Clouds. I guess they're the Cloud Tech. So I just got both of them and I've had both of them for 1 week. And I will say that I've worn these guys on like 2 walks and 1 day here at work. And I thought I was gonna love them the most, but I actually find myself pulling the Ultras out more often than not. So I think I'm moving on from On Cloud to Ultra. I'll tell you one thing that I don't like about these shoes is look at that. They barely have any grip. I wore them for a walk on a really cold, rainy morning. Where I like to walk, there's some sidewalk that has been painted and that surface tends to be a little bit slippery. And I noticed with these shoes, it was really slippery on that painted sidewalk. It's a weird thing. I live in a college town. Sidewalks are weird sometimes. So these were a little slippery and I don't know how I would feel about wearing these on a trail because they don't have any grip. It's just like little bumps. But these baddies, check out that traction. They've got some pretty decent tread and I noticed a new feature and I'm gonna take off my shoe to show you this cool feature. I noticed that they have a built-in Velcro right there. So you can like throw your gaiters on. This will work with my dirty girl gaiters, or I might just splurge and get some of the Ultra gaiters that are designed to go with the shoe. So yeah, my toes do feel like they have a lot of room, but maybe that's not such a bad thing when it comes to a shoe that I'm gonna mostly wear for hiking. So that's the story of all the trail runners that I have purchased in the past 1.5 years. If you have a favorite running shoe, I would love to hear what you like to run and hike and walk in. Because what I've learned through all of this is you can fall in love with a certain style of shoe, like this one, and it might feel really good on your foot for a few months, but then it might just start to feel terrible and you might need to move on and try something else. I've also learned to just buy my shoes in a shop where I can try them on and avoid getting a model that I don't want in an ugly color. There you go. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Now go check out this video next because the YouTube algorithm thinks you're gonna like it. Cheers. We've spent way too much money on shoes, haven't we? Yes, we have. Who's a good boy?